Hello, welcome back to those of you who've listened to others of these Dhamma talks, and welcome to all new listeners. Thank you for taking time to listen to the Dhamma. We trust, we're certain that listening to the Dhamma is an essential step in the practice of the Dhamma. Today's talk is a part 2 talk on the topic of craving. I'm doing 3 talks. As I mentioned in the last talk, loha, dosa, moha, which is craving, desiring, hatred, or anger, aversion, and then the nature of ignorance or delusion. So this is part 2 because in 10 minutes it's impossible to even introduce enough vocabulary to be stimulating or for you to be sincere about investigating the Dhamma within your own mind. So here are 9 things that are rooted, that have their beginning, their essence in craving, and the forms that craving must take if we're going to act on it. And the first one is pursuit. We go looking. We can look online at Marketplace or Amazon or magazines. We can go looking at shopping centers. We can go looking through books and catalogs. But at any rate, we have to pursue this desire to acquire. Whatever it is we wish to acquire, even if it's something like an education, a degree, etc., notoriety, a skill, there has to be the pursuit in order for us to be successful. And then we wish to acquire it. We're hoping that we will be successful in acquiring it. That means, obviously, that we take possession. We believe we have successfully taken ownership of this thing that we were desiring, even if it's a marriage, having children or a family, a job, a career. We begin to believe that we are the owner, the possessor of this desire. And these, in order to acquire, we have to make decisions. We have to decide what things we wish to acquire and which things are not useful or considered worthless to us. So these are mental factors. These are all mental factors that arise once we have started down the path of craving. So we have now reached the place where we are desiring to acquire, which is acquiring experiences or things or popularity or fame. It takes a great variety of forms that this life on earth presents or offers to us. And it's going to require, once we, well, let me back up just for a minute. The first of the 9 of these forms of craving was pursuit, going looking. The second was the attempt or desire to acquire. The third was deciding which objects have value and which are useless or valueless to us. And then the fourth was the desire to acquire, this craving and this lust and this greed. And the fifth is selfish tenacity. So tenacity means gripping, holding on to something very firmly, being very determined not to let go. Now, in certain behaviors in our life, tenacity is a virtue, but not always. Sometimes we need to, as they say, know when to hold them and know when to fold them. There are times when letting go is a wise decision. But selfish tenacity refers primarily to this belief, this sense of I, the sense of me, the sense of mine. And we could argue that there is no tenacity greater than this tenacity in the belief of I, me, and mine. Once we have an I, me, and mine, number 6 is a possessiveness. Now we take ownership. We have lots of possessions. We don't realize how many we have until it's time to move. And we move from one location to another. We're often overwhelmed with how much stuff we have taken possession of. But I want to emphasize again and again, we're not just talking about stuff. We're talking about all kinds of other mental factors. So number 7 actually does refer to wealth or material possessions, material gain. That word in English is avarice. There's just no end to the forms that avarice takes. When we see the extreme wealth that certain people have, we see they're not satisfied with it. I've very seldom heard of anyone, once they have enormous wealth and possessions, say, okay, that's enough. Well, actually, I'm thinking of the wife of a billionaire who's now giving it all away. Congratulations to her. Number 8 is concern for protection. Once we have the stuff, we don't want someone taking it from us without our permission. We don't want it to be damaged. We can think now of these victims, so-called victims of the hurricane. They have come back to where their house once was. There's no house, no car, nothing that they ever owned is left in the place where it was. So they were unable to protect it, even if they had insurance, and apparently very few had. They can buy something new, but they cannot buy what they did have. And number 9 is this need to protect what we have, and it's in our effort to protect that we have alarms on our homes, we have night lights that go on by motion, we have guard dogs, of course we have weapons to protect ourselves. Laws have been passed that allow us to kill people who try to take some of our possessions without our permission. There are various other evils, quarrels, strife, dissension, offensive speech, slander, lies. I'm thinking of when neighbors get in arguments with each other, when we accuse people of taking something from us, the violence that arises in our efforts to protect what we believe is ours, that we believe belongs to me, that is mine. So these are problems that arise as a result of this craving, desiring, wanting, wishing, expecting. Of course, there's hoarding, a severe form of this avarice, this tenacity of not letting go of an empty soft food drink cup. You keep it rather than put it in the garbage. So again, you must examine the way these phenomena are arising and passing away in your mind. Otherwise, you cannot wake up to the way these behaviors, these mental attitudes are disturbing your peace of mind and keeping you out of Buddha nature. Thank you. Thank you for reaching the end. Please make suggestions or comments if you think you can improve this channel. Give us ideas on topics you'd like to hear. And always, always know you can reach out directly. We can talk by phone or by messaging apps if there's any questions you have. Thank you.